Now, it says I'm live, but do I believe it? Probably not. It's a conspiracy. Just kidding. I don't see it on my. Oh, put it down. I don't see it come up on my little tablet yet. So as far as I'm concerned, it hasn't happened.
Patience, patience.
I ain't got none.
Me neither.
Okay. I still don't see it. Let me come out.
Okay.
Let me go back again.
It should be on by now.
Nope.
Nope.
Mm-mm. Says it's waiting. Interesting.
Hmm.
Okay, let me try this. Hang on. So rude. Sorry, y'all. If y'all can see us and we're like just aimlessly sitting here, we don't mean to be, but let's see. Okay, let's try this again. Here we are. Yeah, I see us now. Hi, everyone.
Okay.
Oh, people and technology. What do you want? What am I going to tell you? Sorry.
That's
Hey,
right.
baby. Um, let's see. I see Kathy. Hey, Kathy. I see John Robert, who happens to be tied up at the moment, and Kathy thinks that's kinky. You know what, Kathy? I thought the same thing.
Lucky you, John Robert.
Jamie, Val, Southern Hippie,
Don't forget Bree.
Bree, hey, girl. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Okay. Again, old people. Karen, hey, girl. Hey, Jane. Hey, girl. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? Daniel, how are you?
Oh, I'm
Faith-
all right. I'm okay.
Okay.
It's cold. Very
It's
cold. It's cold and dreary and yucky and not spring.
not spring. Well, I got something on my shirt, y'all.
It's 45 here. It says it's 45, but the wind's blowing, so it doesn't, and the clouds are covering up the sun. So it doesn't feel like 45. Trust me.
Just enjoying this beautiful weather. Supposed to be working. Well, my work day's done. So, okay. That's just Dave telling me he's pushing a door too, because he's gonna watch the rugby. Like he's gonna try to be all quiet. He's like, I'm gonna close the door. I said, everybody can hear you.
Hot guys in short shorts.
Yes. Man with big old no necks and chunky thighs. Yes, please. And tiny shorts. um the foot, yeah, he's not watching the foot, he's watching the rugby, which I love watching the rugby. Don't we, Daniel?
Yes. For the brief moments that she'll show them to me.
Oh, she's got a what?
Yeah, I was going to talk about that.
Wait,
That's
sorry.
part of my chit chat. I'm just chit chatting today. I don't have anything in particular. I'm chit chatting about a bunch
Hey,
of stuff.
Donna. Okay. Wow. Today it rained and then it didn't. And then it rained, then it didn't. Then it rained, then it didn't. And then it didn't. It was sunny and it was windy as heck, child. So I guess the high was about 60, which is
Wow.
toasty for us.
I know. Wow. That is a lot.
It is a lot. Anyway, so we've got our peoples in here. Let's start. Let's start this chat off. Daniel, you're my guest, so you go first.
Oh, that was quick. Okay, so I'm not very chatty because I chatted yesterday, and y'all know that we're we're uh, we're struggling. So first things first, as Val said, that there was an earthquake in New Jersey, and it felt all over around there. So I think it was 4.8.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I haven't seen the
They
news.
do have them. Um, it's very rare, but they do have them once in a while. But I know it's a big deal. It really is, and I'm not making light of it. But I was watching some of the news on YouTube, and they just kept going on and on,
Yeah.
and people were like, "Oh, it was shaky. I didn't know what was happening. Oh.
I mean, think
It I mean, because as far as as far as I know, I don't think it did any type of damage or anything.
on.
So, it was just these people talking about at first they thought it was the wind or they thought it was something else, and then it was and I'm like, "How long can we stretch this out?" Interviewing people about something that lasted, you know, but and I do understand that it was unusual, so it is news, but it's just the interviewing of the people and what did you feel? Well, I felt this. Did it do any damage? Well, no. My plants were swaying, but no. Some people didn't even feel it. They interviewed some there was a guy at one of the ballparks that evidently is having a game or something, gonna have a game or something. But anyways, they were there, and some of the guys who were practicing that were running across the field didn't even feel it, but the people standing still did. But I just it was funny. It's like ages ago, decades, has it been decades? Anyways,
Yeah.
2007 or something like that. We were having a blizzard up there and it got cold. I was down in Florida and it got cold down there. And in the northern part of Florida, there was, and this was seriously put on the news. They had a picture of an icicle. It was such a big thing. I'm
I
like,
mean,
we're having a blizzard up. My friend had sent me pictures of snow everywhere and all that stuff. And the big news thing was showing an icicle.
the singular icicle that attacked Florida.
So, it's about the same way with I mean, we have earthquakes here every once in a while. And a matter of fact,
Uh,
um,
wow. I didn't realize that, Southern hippie.
I mean, we all have earthquakes. They're
I mean, actually, they've happened here, but I've never felt.
they're smaller ones. But here, we had one of the biggest earthquakes there was back in 18 something, the Madrid fault. It cracked, made the Mississippi go backwards, swallowed a town. Yeah, it was something. It wasn't that sparsely populated, so it was like, but they're waiting for it to go off again. And now here is it was like one of the biggest earthquakes. It actually rang bells out in New England.
Wow.
So
I mean,
powerful.
here's the thing. I would freak out if all of a sudden the house starts shaking. Because I've never been in an earthquake ever. I've been in hurricanes. Uh, it did the thumbs up. Look.
Stop it. Don't start with that. Finish your story.
Hey, Heidi. Hey, Heidi, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. I've been in hurricanes. I've seen tornadoes very, very close. I've been like at school, and and when you're little, they're like, "Get on the floor." I'm like, "What's that gonna do?" So, yeah, girl, yes, ma'am, they will. It will. Um, oh, thank you, Heidi. So, yeah, so I'm glad everybody was safe. Honestly, we could like take the piss about it now, but I'm glad it wasn't worse, and I'm glad everybody was safe, and and people could interview, and they're just like, I'm doing this, and I mean, like we could, like I said, take the piss, but it's
Well,
good.
get your adrenaline going. I mean,
Right.
if it's something like that,
Yeah,
where it's not a big powerful one or did any damage or hurt anybody, you know,
absolutely.
that's more of an adrenaline rush that happened. Because I remember we had one back, I don't know, I was a teenager, and my mom and I were actually sitting at the kitchen table, and all of a sudden the table just started doing this, and coffee cup was traveling across. And so we ran outside, and my dad had been outside in the yard and he didn't feel a thing. But the wires going up holding the pole and also the other wires were shaking to
Right.
show him. Yeah. So I've been in that. And then there was one, it was early of a morning that happened when I was older, and I thought the wind had blowed, but it shook the house and popped a door open.
Oh, geez. That's enough.
And I didn't realize what it was, but then after I woke up, we had a slight tremor afterwards. So, and plus it was on the news. It was on the news. So, yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, I'm glad everybody's safe in the New York, New Jersey area, because I love my Eastern people.
It's those are scary like tornadoes.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's one of those things you're not gonna outrun it. If it's coming, it's coming. It's just
Not an earthquake. It's even worse than a tornado because there is no.
there's no escape.
I've watched too many. See, I'm fascinated with all these things that can get you, like tornadoes, Bigfoot, and earthquakes and tsunamis. So I watch all these YouTube videos, and it's like, wow, wow, it's really bad. So yes, all our thoughts. Oops, there went Barbie. I dropped Barbie.
Not Barbie.
Barbie, yeah, I get stressed, so I just pull her hair out. I have a
Oh,
bunch of Barbies that have ratted hair, so I just. Anyway, yes, be careful.
big girl. Yes,
Karen's driving, yeah. I can't do that.
no.
I can't do that. I can barely focus without anything going on. Anyways, groundhogs. Oh God, let's not talk about that. They've been out of the house today, just gnawing and clawing. And then there was a fight underneath there, and
Jeez.
that is not part of what I want to talk about. So the next part is Monday. Is our big brouhaha.
Yes, the eclipse.
The eclipse, and right through here, we're in the totality. I think here we're just on the very border, so I don't know if it's going to be total or just like 99. But I got my glasses.
Did you? Oh, cool.
My glasses. Now, you got to get them from a reputable place. So if you don't have glasses and you want them, mine came from our local library, and they were free. So check with your local libraries and see if they have any.
Oh, cool.
If you're in the totality. So I've got these, and the thing is, there's reputable and then there's not selling online. You cannot see through these at all if you look at them. And then there's this type of, it's not going to show it because my camera sucks, but see that number right there?
Uh-huh.
That means it's a legitimate
thingy
if you look at it. So it's supposed to be, the last thing I've seen, it was supposed to be partly cloudy. They were saying cloudy, and by the time it shows up, it may be cloudy. I know Texas is supposed to get some storms, and they're in the totality part of it. There's just a thin line of totality. And then if you go out,
Texarkana and all that way, we'll get it. Yeah.
In Southern Illinois, and then I think we're just on the cusp of, so I'm not exactly for sure what we'll see.
Right. That's exciting. That natural event is exciting.
Yeah, so we'll I don't know if I'll go out and look or not. We'll see. When it goes dark, I'll have to.
It won't happen again in your lifetime. You have to.
Yeah, well, whatever. I'm already in the dark.
No.
So we'll see. And by the time that happens,
hey Monica.
Who knows? It may be tornadoing or snowing. We can't decide which one we want to do. Or maybe it'll be a snow NATO. You never know.
I remember those, Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
We had one a couple of years ago, and we had this guy who worked with us, and he was an engineer, and he brought this really cool like welder's glass, not the actual match, but just the glass. And he had I don't know why he had so many of them. We were all like, ooh.
It really can mess your eye up. I was watching a little brief video, and they showed a lady who, it was just mere seconds that she just kind of looked up, and it burnt her retina.
Ugh.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was long enough that she had permanent damage or if it was just a so it is very important to have legitimate glasses so you don't get your retina all burnt. Can you imagine how many people must have went blind throughout the ages that didn't know about this stuff? Like the Middle Ages or the Native Americans or all the people that were I
Yeah.
mean, you're automatically going to look up to see why the sun's going dark.
Hey, go shut. Uh,
Hello.
well, I mean, we used to also paint our houses with lead, so I mean, you know, we learned after a while.
I don't know. It's just, I think about the history of human beings.
How?
Oh, you can get snow blindness if the sun is shining. It can,
Oh,
oh, yeah. You want to wear
sunglasses.
sunglasses because it can. If you keep out there long enough, it can. And sun's bright enough. But anyways, it just made me think about stuff like that, the history of human beings. I was talking with Billy Day. I'm like, you know, what in the world made humans just all of it decide to take a leaf, set it on fire, and suck it down their lungs? Where did this come about? Or take a little flowers seed bulb thing and turn it into something that'll knock you for a loop. Where did this all come about? Because they've always said, as far as learning to eat, humans probably seen the animals and what they ate and whatnot. I'm like, animal, I've never seen an animal roll up anything and suck it down their lungs. So I
Well,
think we learned that from
they probably put them in pipes to start with, or like burned them and had it like that.
so
And
where is the idea of that? That one makes no sense to me. Let's
people need a vice, man. People need a vice.
suck some. I have all of a sudden decided to set a leaf on fire and suck it down.
Same way alcohol decided to ferment some, barley and drink it.
I know it's just amazing to me that we've come up with all this stuff.
Who decided to put delicious little snack cakes in a plastic package and call it Little Debbie's? I don't know, but someone did, and I'm thankful.
Well, that I can kind of see because it's coming in the industrial age, but this, is way, way. Where did the cave people come up with the idea to? I don't know. It's just fascinating to me.
Probably
Anyways,
made the animals kind of loopy back in the day. Like she said, Heidi said she's seen animals get high from eating mushrooms. But if you fermented fruit will make you drunk. I mean, if you make animals feel like inebriated.
It's still fascinating to me. I've never seen any animal light up.
I have.
Oh, hey Beth. Okay, so and then I also once again wanted to reiterate and to anybody out there uh, who's going through the death of their animals, it is whether people like to hear it or not, it's just as bad as losing a person.
Absolutely.
It is. And I thank everybody for their well wishes and stuff. This has been a lot tougher on me with Muffin than it was with Rascal. And the reason I think is because I had Muffin. So, as soon as Rascal died, I still had Muffin to take care of and to all that stuff. I don't have that now, and I don't want that. Don't give me ideas. I don't want no more. I am done. I truly am done. I am that type of person. If you guys have listened to me, you had heard me say I'm waiting for my animals to die. And so I'm done. I will not go through anymore. I can't take care of myself. It might be different if I had money and could afford all the stuff that you need to do with animals. Heck, it's more expensive to raise animals than it is to human beings anymore. So,
yeah. Everybody's, I mean,
everybody's lost their animals. I am not domesticating a groundhog. That is one animal that I want dead. I want to shoot them. I want to strangle them. I want to grind them up into meat.
Yeah.
I want to eradicate them. They are worse than mice. Worse than I hate groundhogs.
Wait, hang on. Get a big old dog, take care of him.
I thought about borrowing somebody's rat terrier and letting it loose.
I don't know. They might be bigger than a rat
I was
terrier.
gonna say the groundhogs here are bigger than the rat terriers, but that's what they used to use them for, is to go get the rats and stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry, Heidi. It's so sad we lose a pet. I know. The last one I lost, or they passed away, was Felina. You know, Chubbs. May her memory be a blessing. And to the point where I have an entire sleeve of her on my arm. That's how much I loved my cat. She was my soulmate. Like, you know how I've had animals, dogs, cats, and I've loved everyone equally. But Felina, aka Chubbs, she was something else, man. She was special. She was. And it was hard. It was hard. It happened through COVID, and which was even worse because I thought I was never going to see my family again. And I was like, no more. But as sad as it was, you know, I did decide to give another cat a home at my house, and that's Lola. And Miss Lola, she's bossy boots, and I will. It was hard. It's hard. And I understand why people don't then get another pet. They're like, it's too much. When I lost my dog years ago, before I ever had cats, I lost my dog, and I said, never again, never again. I will never have another pet. But I did, and then I thought, you know, I'll get cats because I won't be that attached to them. Fast forward all these years later.
All these years later, and she's sitting in her car with the air conditioner on to keep her cats from
getting too hot.
Her cats are like, we want out of here. Let us out. And she's like, no, you got to have the air conditioner.
What did Beth say? When your Chanel dad talked. Oh yeah, I mean it is people. Well, now you may rethink the eliminating treatment being put out for the.
Yeah, no eliminating treatments. I tried poisoning the sons of a biscuits. And all they did was cover the poison over and just went about their merry way.
Yes, my cats do watch the iPad. Thank you. Yeah. I'm a modern parent. I let my children sit in front of the iPad.
So I just wanted to say thank you for that, and sympathies are with anybody who has lost their pets here lately, or even, I mean, it sticks with you. So even over the decades.
Lila and Lola should meet. They'd probably be besties.
Yeah. So anyway, well, in the last less than 10 minutes, we're going to do a brief talk about something I've been into lately. And I know a lot of people have been, because I've seen them saying them. So we're going to talk about junk journals and different uses for junk journals. And this was a Dolores's idea, because Dolores has an idea for a junk journal that she wants me to make for her. So
it's not I know Jamie's here. You can talk about it. It's fine. It's a great idea. That's why I want you to talk about it.
So anyway, I had this whole, I'm going to bring this up. I can't see you because I'm going to read something. I just looked up the history of junk journal, and this was something that somebody wrote. So I'm going to go over it briefly just to see where this ideas come from. Well, Jamie, I'm going to give you the scoop on junk journals. And so is Dolores.
Yeah.
You may or may not be involved.
You may or may not be involved.
So basically, people started keeping, I mean, even back in the 1500s, people basically kept things. But here's, let me get to my things. As far back as the Middle Ages, however, as we know, the ability to read and write was mainly reserved for the wealthy and educated. The Renaissance era between the 14th and 17th centuries meant that books, reading, and writing become much more commonplace and mainstream. But it wasn't until the 19th century that a form of scrapbooking began. Initially, families used their Bibles to record important information about their family alongside relevant clippings and mementos of their lives. This practice of collecting tidbits related to people's lives continued throughout the 1800s. But Bibles can only hold so much, so then they started putting things into accounting and ledger books and just blank books dedicated to the purpose of scrapbooking, which we've all seen. We've gotten the antique postcards, the calling cards. They were put in those books. They would glue them into books. And so that's basically scrapbooking. And they would keep all those because they were so pretty. So pretty.
Oh, yeah.
The calling cards and the postcards were also pretty. And also, let's see. There was also, well, this is talking about, this person saw a comment from someone online recently who said they attended a workshop with their local historical society, which showed them an old 19th and early 20th century scrapbooks. And one was from a local seamstress who literally kept a book with scraps of dress fabrics, along with notes about the customer for whom each dress was made. Another was from a student at the local college who on one page glued in a glove, an invitation, and a printed balloon from a formal dance.
Oh, cool.
I'm skipping through a lot because we only have.
But you don't take your time. You have to be done in 30 minutes. It's fine. Take your time.
Yeah, it's in my head.
Your own double D.
Okay, and then invitation and the invention of cameras and photography came in the 1820s, and people started to collect family photographs and stuff and added that to their scrapbooks. So basically that was scrapbooking. And then when scrapbooking became big business, is this next section, you think about modern day scrapbooks, you'll probably note the use of pretty scrapbook papers, photos, photo corners, structured layouts. I used to do scrapbooking. That's what I started out with, in card making. Let's see. By the late 1990s and early 2000s, special stores devoted to scrapbooking supplies started to crop up across the Western world, as well as magazines and books dedicated to scrapbooking. So in 2004, the scrapbooking industry had reached its peak at $2.5 billion.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
And then 2 years later, the housing bubble happened in 2008, which, caused people not to be able to spend their money that way. But there was another art form that was on its way, which did not require people to buy expensive supplies or tools. And that became junk journaling.
I love it.
Junk journaling as a form of rebellion. Today's junk journal started as a form of rebellion against the idea that you need to buy expensive papers and supplies to store memories in a book or create personal artwork. Where free things like cereal boxes, junk mail envelopes, packaging, flyers, leaflets, paper bags, and any other form of junk we throw away could be turned into something useful, beautiful, and save it from the landfill. Hold on. But I've actually recently, the junk journals of sorts also appeared directly after the recession of the 1940s. Unable to source many materials, people took to making journals, scrapbooks, and memory books using whatever they could get their hands on. You used everything in the 1940s. Yeah. Let's see. The evolution of junk journals. You'll probably know that junk journaling didn't exactly stay this way. Naturally, creative and artistic people built on the original concept of junk journals to create offshoots left, right, and center. While there's still an element of junk in junk journaling, cereal boxes, envelopes, packaging, junk mail, etc., they have their place within this craft, for instance. So too does lace, fabric, buttons, playing cards, pretty paper, book pages, music sheets, blah, 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 blah. A number of other new things to choose to make your embellishments. Of course, this does mean some junk journalers, myself included, don't use just free stuff anymore. There are even hordes of wonderfully talented people who've created junk journal printables, digitals, and kits, and that is a big thing. You get on Etsy and you look up junk journals. They make these kits that you can use to cut out different, and they're old looking stuff. The circle. But what I find most interesting is you look at the beautiful junk journals of today, don't you think they're starting to resemble those original scrapbooks from the 1800s and more embellishments and unique, perhaps. But the vintage illustrations and ephemera that are commonly used in today's junk journals certainly make me feel they've morphed into vintage scrapbooks, albeit incredibly beautiful and artistic ones. And that is true. A lot of the printables and stuff are copies of stuff from 1800s and early 1900s. Let's see. So yeah, that's basically it. It's went from rebellion into being just as expensive as scrapbooking.
So actually, Heidi had a question. What do you write in your journals? Well, I think that's personal preference.
Like I said, you can use, and this is where we'll start talking about this. You can use junk journals for whatever you can use them like scrapbooks. You can put in pictures and journal on that. You can use them to put your daily list in. You could use them as a Thanksgiving journal for that. You can use them to keep receipts or just journal like a regular journal. I mean, these are some of my first ones, and they are truly a junk journal. They have junk in them. I mean, Scott, I used this one. It just has papers and stuff all over it. I've got cards and homemade envelopes. It is truly a junk journal. I've got just stuff I plastered in here, and they're just papers. See, I didn't even finish this one. This is paper. Our library, when I had like 100-year anniversary, so they had this paper printed out.
Oh, cool.
And then a bunch of it was just left over. So they gave it to me because I was going to do a program at the time, but then something came along about that time to stop us from doing that. So then I had all this papers and stuff, but you can, whatever you wish. I'm not good at journaling. I like journals. If I had money to buy journals of other people and didn't make them myself, or wanted to buy others, because there are some beautiful things out there, I wouldn't write in them. I like playing. This is another junk journal. This one is truly, this is all envelopes from junk, my junk mail. And I just used it. I tea-dyed them, and you can stick things inside of them. But I love just pulling out the things, seeing what it is. There's just all kinds. I am intrigued by little cubby holes and little fold outs and all that type of stuff, using up your junk. So, I mean, you could use it for anything you want to, and you can journal. You could write, like I said, I'm horrible. I'll start writing. Oh, I'm going to start a junk journal. I'll write one sentence, and 3 years later, I'll find that one sentence and go, interesting. But you could use buttons and strings and just junk. These are very simply made. I would never sell them because I didn't make them right, because I was learning in the process.
Right, but then you have something that you've put together.
Of doing too. I mean, someday I may try to fix those up better and try to sell them, but so,
yeah.
What is your idea for a junk journal after you learn about them?
after I learned about them, because I was like, what the heck? Who, So what? So there's journals and junk journals and journals made to look like, very cute and artsy and stuff. So we had this conversation, Daniel and I, obviously off air. We were just talking to each other, and he was like, I don't know if I should start doing blank journals, and I was like, hey, Amanda, and Kathy came in too. Hey, Kitty Cat. I said, maybe you should, because then that gives somebody almost a canvas, if you will, a blank canvas to do then what they want to do with it. So as we were talking, I said, you should do like holiday themed ones, and and all that, which he's done. He's done Christmas and Halloween, filled junk journals. But what I was talking about was a blank junk journal. And I said, and here's why. So he knows the story because I've told him before, but I'll tell y'all the story. So as you see, my best friend in the world, Jamie, is in the chat. That's Jay Furtak. She had a mother-in-law who was everybody's mother-in-law. She was everybody's mom. Her name was Dolores as well. And she was also a Capricorn, shocker, just like I am. And Dolores Furtak, she was one of these people who kept traditions go. Oh, look, she loves a Halloween. It was a cool one, though, the Halloween one. Dolores, Jamie's mother-in-law, like I said, she was everybody's mom. She was everybody's. This woman she was crafty, and she made stuff. She made jewelry and just everything. But she was also very good at keeping traditions alive. And she was, and her and husband were of Polish descent. So they carried on traditions that their parents passed on to them and their grandparents passed on to them. And they were still doing it. Well, Dolores passed away a couple of years ago, which was very sad. I'm going to cry. Sorry. And she meant so much to us, you know what I mean? And when she passed away, she tried to make recipes and do all the things for her family, but time ran out. And they have all her recipes, I'm just gonna cry, on like little bits of paper, and like so like Laura's got one recipe, her other daughter-in-law, and Jamie's got some recipes, and trying to get them all together. So I said to Daniel, can you make me, oh God, y'all, I feel so stupid. I said, can you make me a blank Christmas journal? Just blank journal, but like Christmas based, maybe with some little pockets and stuff, so that Jamie and her sister-in-law Laura can get together and write the recipes in this book, so that they have them all together, and like put little pockets in some of the pages, so then they can keep the original pieces that Dolores wrote in little pockets, and just so it's basically blank, so they can write down the food that they make, the traditions that they did, all the memories that they have. And and sorry, I didn't think I was gonna cry. Stupid. Oh, okay. So because she was a wonderful, wonderful person, she really, really was, and she made everybody feel welcome, and she kept these traditions alive, and she also included everybody in these traditions, friends, family. We were always invited to Christmas Eve, and we always got to read the night before Christmas. Everybody different read one. I read it each year. Everybody wore hats, and so I wanted to Daniel to make me a blank one, so that Jamie and Laura could write in it and write down all the memories and put like little pictures of Dolores and Christmas things they'd kept, and maybe little in this one journal, so then that each year they could pass it to each other, and then they could add their own traditions, that they've started and that they make, and and they could pass it between each other. So I feel stupid. So my mascara gonna run, Lord Jesus. Damn. So that's what I asked Daniel to do. I asked Daniel to make me a blank journal. We were gonna like discuss it and go through it, and I'm gonna like give him pointers. Oh my God, I'm so dumb. Because this woman, Dolores, was an amazing woman, and she included everybody. You were all her family, and I thought I would have Daniel make and send it to Jamie because she's in Texas, and that her and Laura could start writing down all the tradition, everything they can remember in this book. And that way they could, like, 1 year, one person would have it. And the next year, like Jamie would have 1 year and Laura would have it the next year. And just passing it back and forth and adding their own traditions. And when they have, when their kids get older, it's all written down. It's ready for them to go. So that's what I asked Daniel to do. And that's why I was kind of excited about a blank journal. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, you could tell these blank journals, because people would be able to write their own, like, especially like in the United States with Thanksgiving. People have so many Thanksgiving traditions. It's hard to keep track of them. Recipes here. You put it all in one place, but then you put like little receipts and memories and stuff with the recipe. So you have this wonderful book that tells a story. Not only does you have, it tells the story of your holiday and the recipes. And I want to talk about it because I just thought it was such a cool idea. Do you know what I mean? I was like, Daniel, yeah, you should do the blank ones.
I like doing the blank ones. I mean, obviously it's a lot easier for me, but hold on.
So,
because I'm a pimp. I also like doing ones that have been decorated, like the red journal, which will be up for sale on eBay. Or if you're interested, you can contact me at tackyisme@yahoo.com. But I do also like decorating them. But the blank journal is excellent. Oh my gosh. I would have to have like a whole volume.
Yeah.
And they'd all be in black.
Right.
So
not all family secrets.
I like the empty ones because, yes, then you can make it into whatever type of journal you wish.
Right.
If you like to decorate them, you can make them into a show. You can make them into a glue book if you just want to glue down pictures you like or ideas for something like redecorating a kitchen or a house or something, or like Dolores is, putting down recipes and memories. So, yeah.
So and that's why I got, before I wasn't, I mean, not that I'm not excited. I'm always excited about what Daniel does. I just didn't understand it. And then when we were talking about it, I was like, oh my God, they could handwrite everything. They could do all this wonderful stuff. They could, go on and it just made me so happy knowing that my best friend and her sister-in-law are going to keep those traditions alive in, the Furtak family. And I mean, even if it's not even my family. I mean, look, Jamie's like my sister. We're a chosen family. We've been through so much together, Jamie and I, for over 35 years. So we've been around together a long time, and so, and it just and Jamie writing her own mother's recipes in there, and then Laura writing her, it's just, it goes on and on and on, and all these families are one with this like journal that my really wonderful friend made that I've given to my other wonderful friend. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's such, the possibilities are kind of endless with it, like with a blank journal. And I know I'm going on, but I just think that you could, pass it on and give it to your other family members, or, like when, let's say your daughter or is getting married, or or even your son or your your son's getting married, or your grandchildren by this point, and you like, here's this blank journal for you to start your memories with your new family now. I mean, what a fantastic idea. And now I'm all about it. Sold.
Yeah, because she wasn't at the beginning.
No, I mean, it wasn't. I just didn't understand.
She didn't understand it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when you said blank journal, I was like, oh, that's okay. Because I love the filled ones. I like the Halloween one, like you did, the Christmas one you did. The red one would be so good for like, it could be, you could make like a red, white, and blue one and be like vintage Americana. You know what I mean? Like, just really, there's so many things you could do with it. And it's just it is like a piece of art. It really is. And I kind of missed that when we were first talking about him. So yeah. So, I was talking about the import taxes. Yeah. Oh, and she loved the journal. She was so excited when she got it. Amanda said, so pretty. And was it a Christmas book?
I appreciate that.
Was that the
No,
Christmas book?
she got the never ending journal.
Oh,
Like the first one I started Crap at Crafting off with, the one that would just not finish. It took me forever to do that thing. Oh my goodness. So yeah.
so yeah.
I'm gonna spin my hand at that. I'm gonna try to start listing some on Etsy to see what happens.
Absolutely.
Etsy seems to be better with that type of
Mhm.
stuff than there are some on eBay, but let's be honest, they seem to go for more on Etsy.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you put this much work in it, you need the money. By the time you think of you actually have to take taxes out because you're working for yourself out of that amount. You also, your own hours you put into it, plus the supplies you do, and
Yeah.
the ideas you have to try to come up with, and all that stuff. It's not like something you just whip stitch together. And
No, it's very thought, and it's very thought out, and it's very thought provoking, because like I can see you going through each page, and each page is like a new surprise. You know, if you're purchasing a finished junk journal, it would be like every page is something new. You're trying to, oh, that's good. Oh, what's on that? I love stuff like that. I love being like, what's next? You know, I'd never get bored.
yeah, and there are some out there that are just amazing because they do use, like that talked about, they do use a lot of the printables that you can get off of stuff, and they use Tim Holtz products, and they use all these amazing things. But you know, some of us can't afford to buy all that right now. So
Yeah, I think, and I'm don't get me wrong, Tim Holtz and all that stuff is really cool stuff. I've seen it and stuff, but I think the fact that you're curating these because you can buy stuff that's already made, or you can curate different little bits and pieces, and you're like assembling them together, and it's almost like a puzzle, but not a puzzle. It's just like a puzzle in your mind almost, and people get to go through that and see the wonderful different things, and I honestly, I didn't get it. I didn't. And then when you explained to me and I started to see them, I was like, oh, I get it now. I understand. It took me a minute because I think I've always been like, what's its function? What's it do? Not everything has to do something. If it brings you joy, it's done something. Do you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
I thought I could whip up 5 journals really fast, but no, I've been working on the first one. So, yeah, it is. And I think, and I can see almost where you get obsessive compulsive with it, which is not a bad thing. Especially when you're being creative, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah, you can go back and 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 go back.
And they're just so fun. Do you know what I mean? And I just didn't realize the joy, whether they're blank or filled, that one would get when they start to go through them. And that's kind of where, and I'm a convert, I have to say. I'm a junk little convert.
It's kind of cool too, for my thinking on this. The beautiful red journal that is available that my simple little self made a book, basically. I mean, it may not be like a book, but I made a book. Who would ever think I would be able to make a book?
Exactly. And not just a book, it's a book of surprises. And that's kind of what's cool about it. It's like a book of what's on the next page, what's going to happen here. Do you know what I mean? I think that's, I'm telling you, you converted me. I'm not gonna start making them, in my spare time. But I do get because when you were going through one. I think when you had the Halloween and the Christmas, and as you were turning each page, you were kind of like, I was kind of, what's next? Oh, what's on that page? What's that? And so I can see where people. It's quite an exciting, it's simple, but it's simple and it's fun, and it's like, what's going to happen? And I just like that. I like the suspense of, of someone's creativity popping out at me off the page. So, oh, your fireworks probably fine, Kathy. You make it. You want to make it, but I do suggest. Yeah, as someone who has sold who did sell handmade jewelry, I didn't stop. Well, I did stop making it, not for any other reason than I'm far too busy to make it. But Etsy's always been. I would highly recommend you put that on Etsy, just because I look at it this way, and this is maybe wrong the way to look at these sites like this, but I look at eBay. When I love eBay, I sell on eBay. I buy off eBay. I feel like eBay is the car boot. Etsy's the boutique. Do you know what I mean? I do. I really feel like, or eBay's the flea market, if you know what a car boot is, and Etsy is the boutique you want to go into and be like, ooh, you know what I mean? That's kind of how. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said I would suggest you putting. I mean, put it on Etsy. Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked enough about that. I want to hear your subject.
Okay, I got like 9 minutes to do my subject, and
we can go over. We just as you said, if I can go, we can go over the hour mark.
Well, we could, but I'm going to eat at 8:00 at night. I haven't eaten yet.
Oh my goodness.
No, I can say, look, my story's not gonna. My story don't have an expiry date, so I can do it anytime. I can do it next time we're on your channel. But yeah, Daniel, it is your art. It's very true. And I know I didn't mind. Here's the thing, I didn't mind, and I said to him, I don't mind talking about it because not that I mind ever him talking about anything, especially Bigfoot. But we thought we got banned.
Ooh, Bigfoot junk journal.
That'd be kind of cool though. It would be kind of cool.
But giving out an idea now, everybody's going to be making Bigfoot junk journal.
It's 10 minutes to 9 there. It's 10 minutes to 8 here in the UK. I think y'all's an hour ahead of us. It's 10 minutes to 9. Is it 10 minutes to 9? Oh yeah, 10 minutes to 9. Sorry, I'm eating at 9 p.m. Yeah, you're right. I don't even know what time it is anymore. This hour got me twisted. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna be eating at 9 p.m., which is late.
Their time change just happened over the weekend.
So I'm allowed to be confused for at least the next 2 weeks. Yeah. Or there's, put on one of the new websites. I think she means like the Vamp or the Knickknacks.
Oh.
You could try. Yeah, I mean, it's just try it. Put it everywhere. Put it everywhere. Yeah. Sorry. I it's almost 9 p.m. here. I'm gonna eat at 9. Sorry, it's 8. We started at 8. I'm gonna eat at 9. I'm gonna I swear to God, this hour got me all messed up, y'all. Really, it really did. Here's a quick story. We didn't stop time change. Why? There you go. Why do we keep doing this to ourselves?
I know. I wish they would just stop it.
She said, "Try Me Made." Now I don't know. I don't know if you have that in the U.S. Me Made.
I don't know.
I've never heard of it. So, but might be something you want to look into. Yeah, I this time change needs to go. I'm sorry, it messes me up. I'm good when we fall back. For some reason, I get super confused when we go forward.
Everything's so rushed.
Huh?
Everything seems to be so rushed.
When it goes forward, yeah, it does. It does feel rushed. It does feel like everything's now. It is later, a lighter later, but I go to work early, so I'd rather be lighter earlier because I'm going, and then when I get but whatever. I'm not going to be the one who changes it. So I thought they were going to change it.
Oh, they talk about it all the time, but it never goes through.
Oh, here we go. Is a one-off payment and no limit to sales, but must be handmade or recycled. Check it out. Google it later. Yeah.
Google it.
But yeah, so that's why, I mean, so yes, it was all Daniel because it's always about him. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was fun. It was fun. No, because I wanted to really talk about the way I came to see the journals and the junk journal and the now the like the blank junk journal, so then people can, you know, use that to make their own memories. And I love that idea. I really do.
Heidi, here in Central Standard Time or Central Time, it is 2:54 p.m.
Yeah. So they're behind. They're a day late, a dollar short. No, I'm just kidding.
Some of us are more than $1 short. Some of us are negative short.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Ohio legislator wants to make daylight savings time permanent, but federal law says states can stay on standard time, but not DST. Oh, yeah. Looky here, federal law. Mind your business.
It's just because.
It's just because.
It's just because they know.
I don't see the point. I mean, yeah, I know back in the old days when people was out on a tractor that didn't have lights or were running the mules across the field. Sure, you needed daylight early. Ain't nobody doing that. People got lights on their tractors now.
And it was about the school kids and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, but okay. What most, most of these children parents are dropping them off. Ain't no one walking to school these days. You get kidnapped, done by climate change, have an earthquake.
I'm sure there's some corporations behind it that's keeping it going for some reason. I mean, come on. Now we've turned into the last part of it, conspiracy theories.
Hey!
Live chat. Woo!
I think Amazon owns the time change.
Oh my goodness.
The free drivers could deliver when it's still daylight. Look at Amanda don't adhere to no one's schedule but her own. There you go.
You know what? If you're not hooked up to a regular job, it is easily to lose time and days and all that stuff. I'm having a hard time keeping up now. But, you know, I'm also old.
What? Why would you? Why would you make it more confusing, Indiana?
Well, honestly, Indiana, I believe part of it is in Central Time and part of it is in Eastern.
Make up your mind. Just kidding. All right, guys, we're gonna end this chat because I'm gonna.
I took up it all.
Huh?
I took it up all.
That's fine. Yeah, we were both. It wasn't just like you were just talking. It was a conversation that we both engaged in, and that's what Double D is about.
We did cover several topics.
We did cover several topics. Yeah. Anyway, and that's fine because I had fun, and I just want to let everybody know I am now on the Junk Journal train. Choo choo.
Well, happy birthday, Amanda.
Happy birthday. Oh my gosh. Happy birthday. You don't need an excuse, sister. Do what you want. All right, guys, we're gonna head out now. I'm gonna go eat. Daniel's gonna go do Daniel things. I will be back next Friday on my channel for Vintage News Hour. Oh, y'all, I have a good one. Oh my God. I have such a good talk next Friday. Y'all gonna die. Y'all gonna love it. Ooh, I can't wait to talk about it.
And she's not gonna tell you because you need to tune in here at her channel.
I ain't gonna tell you.
Find out what it's about.
You got to come find out. All right, guys. All of Daniel's links are in the description of this video. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to Daniel.
He'll be on Sunday.
And he'll be on Sunday. And Take It Like Sunday morning. So don't miss that either. All right, guys. Take care. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.